Shalom, sisters and sisters. This is Yapa S the KOS once again with a Be Angry and Sin Not Part 3. As I've been meditating on what happened a couple of days ago and putting my finger on what's going on. First of all, I hope you're having a very empowering and enlightening day, despite all the things that may be coming against you because you're a believer or because you're an empath or because you're a very positive person. And you usually do your best to see the light in people, the light of the Hamashiach in people. At the same time, it does not give another person the right to try to squash the light that's within you, the light of our Creator, the Most High within, that is to shine bright on the planet. And we are in these very temporary forms called flesh, and unfortunately we have the ego edging y'all out to deal with on the planet. And if you aren't in your ego, someone is going to be put around you that is. And many people are, until they've come into an awareness that it is there. And then they have the opportunity to repent, the opportunity to change if they want to change. And that's what we're dealing with here. So, be angry and sin not, because the scriptures aren't just the Bible, the what do we call it? Instructions before leaving Earth. I forgot what the whole thing was, but I don't know about you, but I like the practical implementation of the scriptures in our hearts. That's the way that the Most High works. It's not a storybook, so when I bring up, when the scripture comes up and I'm inspired to share, usually it's, that's him moving within and you too. But the moderator situation, the question that I elaborated on a few comments that I put in the room that were related to a brother that was in a situation with the VA, with 4 houses getting foreclosed on. He should be getting 100%. He was being coached, thankfully, by another brother that, is going through the same process and has been surrounded by other brothers and family members that actually have been able to get 100%. And some health gems were shared by himself and me in the chat room, and I was blocked because apparently I think another female was in the room that felt threatened or whatever, took it back to that person, and then no, come back. I was labeled as a problem. What do you do? The next day I had gotten a comment, and then it dawned on me, what's really going on, where a person may be trying to come back, maybe trying to create a problem just so that you kind of thrown under the bus a bit. Come back. Even though there is no problem, but because a new supply is back getting love bombed again, and probably strategically reconjured up to try to affect a current relationship, I realized why that person said that, oh, well, you were creating a problem in the room, even though the facts were there, that there were no inappropriate comments or at the other person at all. And so you can call me, what is it? The ladies out there is called the Enlightened Target. Jill Wise, I think is her name. Dr. Ramani as well. And a sister on Instagram called Adjust Your Crown. So if there's anybody who is maybe going through certain things that you can't quite put your finger on it, you love people for the best that they are, but when you start to reflect on certain actions that are happening around you, you really have to stop and meditate on, what is really happening after you start to, I guess, become more aware on how little situations shouldn't go from a 0 to a 10, or why another person may feel threatened because you just simply, had your own perspective on something, or even though you might disagree about something, calmly disagree about something, the other person may take it as a threat, and you're like, what's going on here? Nobody has the right to try to belittle you or devalue you when you know your own value, and know that no one else has to verbally validate you, because the Most High has already completed us. And I'm learning about myself, of course. I'm sure all look internally for the growth, but I just want to help any other sisters out there that may be going through certain things. Know that you're not alone. I'm a story time. I'm a person that I grew up on two different sides of Baltimore. I know what family is. I know the importance of family. Family has always been first. And the new creative family comes first. I thankfully was protected coming up as a young person, even going from one side of the city to the next when I had to earn my stripes. Just surviving in the hood, going from one really great neighborhood to the hood, and knowing how the Most High will protect you in all things, which I take no credit for. And I had the honor of being around couples that have put in time, and I got to see how they would function and operate, and even see how the love was still expressed. And so you start to see, like, okay, when you start to wake up to the lower side, or I would say the shadow side of a person, you really have to kind of like, all right, Most High, like, love is love. You hear that, love is love. But when you're asked, okay, what is the practice of that from someone that is supposed to be, you're supposed to be able to go to your questions too, and it's a locked door. Even though the scriptures say, okay, well, you're the person I'm supposed to go to about questions. So those who endure to the end shall be saved. And maybe it's an opportunity to really either tap deep down to really experience Yah's love for us on the planet. I mean, there's so much wickedness and evilness going on the planet. And you think, no matter, this is why the Hamashiach had to come and die to pay for the sins on this earth. And so we all have not cross, because when you look it up, it's actually a stake. We all have a stake to carry. And he said, it says that, I ask for your strength. I ask for more inner strength. I ask for prayers. And come down, sweetie. Family comes first. The husband's supposed to come first, and then the family. But I'm kind of waking up to more about what's actually happening. And I'm just going to say this. What you're probably going to see is myself or someone near me, or other females, be demonized, even based on things that may not have actually taken place. Even when the facts are there, the distortion of reality is happening through the other person's pain body. And it's hard to see, because what I'm researching is that really, unless really the Most High comes in and really repents on someone's heart, repents, and really has a person turn away from, wicked ways, no matter how enlightened or how much positivity or how much value you bring on the earth, if you do that and you're also crushing somebody down or not fulfilling the emotional needs of a person that you're supposed to do that for in your life, and you don't, and you strategically don't, you punish that person in a variety of ways, then the Most High has to work with that person. We can't do it in our flesh. And unfortunately, with people that are sensitive to emotions and the consciousness and the higher consciousness on the planet, which I'm hearing some people are saying empaths, but you can be a target. And so I hope that the new supply and the breadcrumbing that is taking place, that person will start to read on Dr. Ramani, type in the Enlightened Target on YouTube, and also Adjust Your Crown. When I came around, maybe I should do a second video about the Northern Wives thing. When you love somebody and they want to bring somebody onto the team the right way, and you read the scriptures for yourself and you say, okay, well, this is allowed, and it's not what you do, it's how you do it, then okay. However, it should never be at the expense of squashing somebody else in the process, or withholding information on purpose to maintain control. Because people that love each other, you feel it. It's expressed. It's not just expressed within the first 6 months, the love bombing phase. It's continually expressed. And that's why I'm thankful to have seen that in a variety of relationships around me growing up. Come down, come down, come down. So what you will see is me most likely being, or another person being devalued, humiliated publicly, and also criminalization happening, where one person is gathering information to untruthfully incriminate another. So I hope that you and all of us stay in a higher awareness. It doesn't feel good here on the earth a lot of the times, but you're not alone. The Father said He will not leave you nor forsake you. And sometimes we can't see it. Faith is in the unseen. And yet also faith without works is dead. So I'm going to leave it at that. This is the healthiest way to express without being isolated, even though someone will say that, females aren't really supposed to be online and stuff like that. I do want to thank the females that have shared, not the thoughts and all that stuff that certain people are getting in their algorithm, because that's the stuff that they're watching oftentimes or pulling information from. In my algorithm, I'm seeing a lot of positivity happening with females on the earth. And I also had many positive encounters with men and women. Come back over here. Come back. Positive encounters as an artist. I had the honor of graduating from Cornell. I ended up there. I'm a flower that grew up out of the cement of the hood. Went there for the gifts and talents the Most High instilled in me with art and such and so forth. A photographer and my own model, contract model, artist, hostess, dancing Zumba instructor, underground closet Zumba instructor. Come back, come back, come back, come back. Come here. Closet Zumba instructor. Always the person in the family to bring family members together. That inner strength and power that has been instilled in me will never fade. It will never get squashed. Even though sometimes it feels like I'm a speck, or you can feel like you're a speck on the wall, a grain of sand on the planet. You might feel like that sometimes. The Most High said we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and don't you ever forget it. Enlightened people are supposed to enlighten other people, but at the same time, they're not supposed to attempt to darken and cast a shadow on them. So I say this: love, the higher self of a person, but I'm not quite sure how long I can sustain around the shadow side that does come out and make its way to the forefront in many occasions often. So, no. I need to get back to my seed beat work when I can too. You know, certain things, we're supposed to be able to ask for forgiveness. We're supposed to be able to be given forgiveness, or if you're at fault, brothers and sisters of Yah, we're supposed to acknowledge our fault and confess our faults one to another so that, you know, that we can grow. The scriptures say that. So when that's not being practiced on the other side, it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. But everything has a purpose. Wisdom will prevail. I'm not sure how much long. I don't think I can continue to listen to certain things on the public side and not seeing it bring practice in the private side. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not really sure where I was going with it totally, but I will say when I came around, the sister Rachel that was around first, she was pretty cool. Another melanated sister. Everything was up in the front. There was no conversation that took place. I can see how it would make sense for men to be able to have more than one wife to populate the earth. You can't just do with one at a time. That makes logical sense. But it shouldn't be at the expense of one being devalued or pushing one. When you use the positive energy of one, or they see what's going on in the background, then it's time to move on. Or it's time to get someone else for a new supply. This is what I'm learning with this certain type of situation that I have seen. Come back. And as the involvement takes place, I will continue to share as inspired to share. This is not an attack, though I've been attacked and though others have been attacked verbally. And I'll leave the rest of the etc. part in the etc. So, humor is also a, what do you call it? Superpower of mine. Superpower of mine. So I'm thankful for that, among all the other things that I've been blessed with while I've had the opportunity to be on the planet for as long as I am on the planet. Hey, sweetheart. So, any comments below? By all means. I appreciate you in advance. I'm thankful for you in advance. And let me know what your channel is so I can check you out between my tasks. I've never been a person to be idle. Even when I was in the world, the folk, not in the, well, in the world, but not of it. I always had work ethic, you know. I learned about what moving a person, what it means when someone keeps moving the goalposts. I learned that today. So, if anything here clicks for you, and you want more information, I'm willing to support that. Also, as you know, I always like to help people, even sometimes at my detriment. I can be too patient, you know, and that's just how it is. So, anybody who want to get their credit score up, even though there are books and stuff out there, if you want someone to sit down with you and really help you map a strategy to getting into that club 700, 800, looking at your actual report, let me know that too. Because Sister the Credit Lady 1 and 2, I'm on their teams in the background. And I'm also looking for certain type of real estate deals. And I'm looking to network with other folks that are wanting to evolve and stay evolved in the higher consciousness at no expense of anyone else. So I say shalom for now. I'm your paw. I can put the yap in your paw, but usually it is for a purpose. Shalom.